Today I'm starting off this video by giving you a little peek behind the curtain. I'm working on about 4 to 5 hours of sleep because I was up until around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning with an after-hour HVAC tech working on my air conditioner that wasn't working when I came home from showing houses last night. And that's okay. Today I'm going to talk about some of the hidden costs of home ownership that maybe you didn't think about, but you should plan for. But at the end of the day, why still being a homeowner far outweighs renting and how you can build a future through home ownership. Stay tuned. One of the easiest topics to talk about outside of just what the regular monthly mortgage payment is going to be are things like property taxes. Now, property taxes are part of your mortgage payment, but if you're looking online and calculating how much you can afford, you want to make sure you calculate those monthly expenses for the property taxes in your monthly mortgage payment. What the mortgage company does is they will take 1/12 every month of your property taxes and put it into an escrow account. And then every 6 months, they will pay the county your property taxes on your behalf. So that gets calculated into your payment when you're looking to purchase a home. And just like taxes, insurance is the same. When you close on a property, you actually pay 1 year's of homeowner's insurance up front, but then you also immediately begin calculating and saving 1/12 of that next year's premium every single month so that you get those savings on the one-time payment premium, and then next year when your premium is due, the mortgage company out of your escrow account also makes that payment. The third thing that people don't think about is HOA dues. If you're looking at a property that's in a community that's a planned unit development, maybe there are parks and recreation, a pool, a clubhouse, or maybe you're looking at a condo, those HOA fees are going to go on top of your mortgage. So if your monthly mortgage is $1,500, including your property taxes and your insurance, make sure if you're in an HOA, you're budgeting for that as well. The average HOA here in Dayton for a regular single-family home with no amenities really runs about $200 to $300 for the year. But we also will see some condos where they can be upwards of $150 to $250 per month because those include certain things like some of your utilities and swimming pools and tennis courts and clubhouses. Speaking of utilities, make sure you know what the average utility is going to be before you purchase a property. Most of your properties will have that information available right up front. If they don't, feel free to talk to your buyer's agent to get that information from the seller so that you can make that calculation. After all, you don't want to buy a property that's similar to the size that you're renting now, only to find out that the insulation or something is not good, or maybe that furnace and air conditioning is not really all that efficient, and then all of a sudden you're paying several hundred of dollars extra every single month for your utilities. Just something to think about. Now, obviously, when you own a property, one of the things that's different versus when you were renting a property is that when something breaks, guess who has to make the repair? You do. You're the homeowner. You no longer call a landlord that's going to send out a maintenance guy that's going to make those adjustments for you. But let me tell you, if you're renting, that landlord is calculating a certain percentage of your rent every single month that is going to cover those unexpected expenses. So as a general rule of thumb, if you're a homeowner, I usually recommend setting aside 1% of the value of the purchase, 1% of your home or your condo into kind of an emergency slush fund. That's going to be something that if the roof ages, and roofs do get old, you have that money saved up. If the HVAC system is getting older, you have that money saved up. The average life expectancy for an HVAC system is anywhere from 15 to 17 years, give or take, sometimes more, especially if you maintain it on a regular basis. Water heaters usually have a life expectancy of 9 to 11 years. That can also fluctuate depending on the water quality, so you want to calculate for that as well. And the average roof, around here we see what's called 30-year dimensional shingles, and those do not have a life expectancy of 30 years. Why? Because we live in Ohio. We have 98-degree summers, we have -5-degree winters, so they get extreme temperatures on both sides. So the average roof has life expectancy closer to around 23 to 25 years if it's a 30-year dimensional shingle. So saving up that money every single year, if you have to replace a roof, will help you tremendously. Side note, I've had 2 roofs replaced on properties that I've owned, and it has been a result of a severe storm. So that insurance will come in handy as well. If you ever have a hailstorm, a severe windstorm, or you happen to see a lot of people on your street getting roofs replaced after a major storm, maybe call up a contractor to do an analysis on your roof, and maybe call the insurance company as well. And speaking of expenses, roofs, stoves, refrigerators, it's inevitable that you're going to have to replace them at some point in time. But this isn't just a money pit. People try and equate that sometimes, and it's just not the case. When you make these changes, when you make these upgrades, when you save money and do a remodel, such as a bathroom or a kitchen or a massive outdoor landscape update, you're actually adding value to the property. So every time you do something like that, it's not just a waste of money. You're not just throwing money down the drain. You're increasing the value of your property. You're making it a much more marketable property should you ever have to sell, and you are adding value. So you're really building your future. Remember, I talked about your home as like a savings account. If you're renting at the end of the day for 10 years, after 10 years, you have nothing to show for it. If you own for 10 years and you go to sell that property, you're cashing out the equity that you've built, not only in those upgrades that you've made, those replacements that you've made, but also the appreciation that's happened the entire time you own the home. So don't look at it as a money pit. Look at it as building your future and wealth through real estate. With those items in mind, let's talk about the flip side. The flip side is, at the end of the day, it is worth it. There are benefits to being a homeowner. We've talked about these things before, but I always want to reiterate them again. There are tax benefits to being a homeowner. You have the homeownership tax deduction that you can claim every year through the IRS when you go to file your taxes. That means you can write off certain items such as all of the interest that you've paid on that mortgage for that year, the insurance potentially that you put on that property, and the property taxes. So you're looking at thousands of dollars worth of deductions that you didn't have if you were a renter, which also means potentially thousands of dollars if you get a refund coming back to you. So once again, the benefit is there. And there are a lot of things you can look beyond this in terms of why owning a home is always going to outweigh renting. I mean, you can personalize things, you can choose your own wall colors, you can swap out that countertop if you want, you can do all those changes and benefit from it at the end of the day if you ever go to move, or if your family inherits your property, they're inheriting something of value and stability. So yes, at the end of the day, owning a property comes with a ton of responsibility, but it also comes with a ton of rewards, if not more. So if you're working with the right agent, they're going to help you negotiate the purchase of that property and get you into a home that's not only going to help you build equity the time that you live there, but it's going to help you build your future. And so once again, look at this as an investment. Staying a renter for your entire life may be something that you think is the easy way out, but in 10, 20 years time, I'm telling you, you're going to regret it when you have nothing to show for it. So get into that house today. If you delay, once again, you may pay more for it and you're missing out on the equity and all of the improvements you could have done in the past year. So thanks for watching. Oh, and last little bit, you know that when you work with me, you're always going to go into that property fully prepared, right? I'm going to get all this information for you. It's part of my job. It's part of my fiduciary. So if this is the first time you watch this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you have some great ideas in terms of what can help build the value of your property, or if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. You can also leave a comment. I like to monitor those the best that I can and get the answers out to you. And I love selling real estate in Dayton, Ohio.